the show. Um, Welcome to the meeting. We're very glad to have you all here. Got a good turnout today. It's lovely to see so many names that I know, um, and a few that I don't yet. So nice to make your acquaintance. Um, I guess I want to start off a little bit. I would be remiss if I didn't talk about it. I know there's going to be some other discussion on it as well, but I'd like to talk a little bit about the Membership Mania program that we've been running. I think it's important we bring it up. After all, there's some big and some positive additions, some long requested items that are in there. First off, of course, is the release of our new Thousand Island Linden home theme. These are 2048 meter style. They're for Premium Plus members, feature a tiki-esque home on the water, or a couple grotto designs, particularly for merfolk and others who might want to live out of the sea. I'm happy to say that there might have been a couple that I helped name, so I'm kind of excited about that. We've been adding more of these every couple of days as the demand has been pretty huge. So if you find them sold out, just wait a day or two, try again. We released some just last night, in fact. And also note that the Grotto home controller also includes all of the above water homes as well. So if that's what you're seeking and all you're seeing are the grottos, it might be a slightly sneaky way to secure a home. Of course, now everybody here knows it, so I guess that puts it out there.
Also on that, we also are adding some regions that have more of, backing up a step. So you'll notice the ones that don't have the grottos are in a shallow area near islands, and then the ones that have the grotto option are in a more deep water option, because of course it needs to be deep water to have the grotto down there. Well, we basically spun up some more region types that have more islands and therefore more of the shallows, because it seems like more people are wanting the shallow near the island areas. So you should see more and more of those options. Every time we release, a bunch of regions of, yes, exactly, Sassy. Every time we release a bunch of regions for the new Thousand Island style, we're seeing those shallows go much, much faster. So we wanted to try to accommodate that. Speaking of Linden Homes, our Plus members, that's the membership level between basic and premium that allows for holding a 512 parcel of land, can now have a Linden home. It used to be just holding Mainland, but this too adds a new feature for these accounts. 512 meter Linden home styles include the Sakura, Newbrook, and Camper trailer themes at this time. Additionally, all Linden home styles got a small boost in their land impact, as you may have checked. 512 Linden homes went from 175 to 234. 1024s went from 351 to 468, and the 2048s went from 703 to a whopping 937. So that means that they've all had a significant jump up. For now, Mainland and estate land remain unchanged, but as you guys know, we're always looking at ways to improve. It just so happened that this time the improvement was on the Linden home parcelage.
Also add that accounts have seen some increases, with everyone getting more pics in the profiles, which I know that's one that I've heard for a very, very long time. More stored IMs, more groups, and for Premium Plus, more Animesh attachments should they wish. Also, Premium Plus members are getting free mesh uploads grid-wide. I think that went this finished up today with the rolls.
Wonderful. Those of you who may be into our mobile viewer have one more good reason to log in with the addition of the Linden reward streaks. So every day that you log in on the mobile viewer, you can receive Linden dollars, with the amount increasing every day over the course of 7 days. And hey, there's nothing wrong with a few extra Linden dollars at the end of the week, right?
Oh, absolutely. Seriously. Um, there's never enough prims.
Right.
Also in partnership with Second Life's premier independent shopping site, Seraphim. Much like we've done with MadP, we're now announcing Sarah Plus, which it'll give our Plus Premium and Premium Plus members access to both the quarterly Sarah Plus boxes, which will have a curated collection of exclusive virtual creations, as well as some other monthly exclusive gifts.
And additionally, we're expanding access to the experimental AI character designer too. In partnership with Convey, it's a great tool for somewhat autonomous characters that you can use for role play or other purposes. And you can learn more about them at this link that I'm going to put in right here.
I'll jump in also on that, Izzy, just to say that, yeah, we are aware that the AI characters cannot access Linden Homes and other areas because they are scripted agents. I don't necessarily see a change on that coming, but we're obviously taking feedback. We'll see how that goes. But right now, they are scripted agents, so they are treated as such. If you have an account that you've accidentally set as a scripted agent, you can, of course, change that on the dashboard at secondlife.com/my. Just change your scripted agent status. Oh, and one more perk I wanted to bring up on the Membership Mania is, of course, that we're giving away 3 computer systems. Which can really up your Second Life game, really help you trek around in style. Our Plus residents may win a Thermaltake LCGS Quartz i460 R4 gaming desktop, which is an $899 value. Premium residents get a chance to win a Skytech gaming PC desktop, which is a $1,999 beast. And then finally, our Premium Plus members might win an HP Omen 45L Intel i9 RTX 4090 Premium Gaming Desktop, which this thing is incredible. It's $4,679 retail, and it's just gigantic. Yeah, it's a dream machine.
Not only is that a lot, Wendi, but that was a mouthful to have to say out too.
It was. I was looking over the web page and kind of going, "Wow, this is a lot."
You guys can read more about these on our featured news blog. This is the link for that. And of course, if you want to take advantage of all the new Premium and Premium Plus perks, you can head over to this link here to upgrade your account.
And now it's my great pleasure to announce our new co-host, Alpha Linden.
Yay,
to give
Alpha!
us a little customer support update.
Hey, what's up, guys? I'm Alpha Linden. I'm part of the CST team, and yeah, I'm looking forward to kind of having these monthly meetings with everyone. But,
we can't hear you, Alpha. Can you repeat that?
Oh, yeah.
I'm totally kidding. I'm just doing with it's initiation for this group.
My heart dropped, but then I realized, it goes right out there. Never mind. But yeah, but yeah, I just wanted to start off. I don't know if anyone here was affected, but we have had some Lindex issues going on, and luckily that's something that's been resolved since then. So if you notice any billing issues you may be having, maybe need a refund or something, those should have all been taken care of. So hopefully, if any of y'all were affected, you'll be seeing those refunds coming in soon. Regarding the status of our team, though, we do have a backlog of tickets. So if you notice, delays are pretty lengthy right now. It's definitely just due to that backlog, but we're definitely catching up as fast as we can, and we sincerely apologize for all the inconvenience it caused. But nevertheless, though, one thing I wanted to end this on, though, was a exciting viewer we have. I don't know if many people are aware, but we have Project Zero out, and this is basically a viewer that instead of installing and having your hardware run, you would stream it through the browser. And this ultimately streamlines like performance. So you know, if you have performance issues, this is a way to maybe counteract that as long as you have a strong internet connection. You know, right now it is still in testing, so we only have it limited to 1 hour sessions, and it can get busy at times. So if you notice that you're trying to log in and it's not working, just try another time. Hopefully, you know, some people will hop off and you can get one of those freed up slots. But yeah, nevertheless, I hope I can have some more information to share with you guys next month. But it's a pleasure to be able to speak with you guys and start attending these every month.
That's a fair point, Prokofy. It may change once it's out of beta. I wanted to also delve into something I've been working on a bit. I'm doing some small mainland improvements on some old content. Wanted to just draw attention to those. We finished up some work that we've been going on in the snowlands around the Izzy Linden area in the Wingen region. As mentioned, our last meeting, all 3 ski lifts are back up in full operation for the first time in about a decade. The chalet itself, we've done a bit of patching up, a little cleanup. Additionally, all of the ski resers have been added in, as well as the sled and intertube resers at the top of the mountains. There's some skating animations on the ice. There's also even a hot air balloon tour of the area. So I think it's a nice improvement over what it used to look like for a long time. And then also some snow-related work might be coming to the Rainier and Sierra areas, somewhat similar to the above, though perhaps a bit less grand in scale, a little bit smaller area to work with. That's the old Teen Grid area. And I think, I don't think so, Sassy. Do you want those for the drinks, or?
Well, you know,
and I've seen a couple of volcanoes over there.
It's true.
Just have an occasional iceberg just sort of slowly creep past would be fun.
Can I have Garden put a sound effect that makes it go dun dun?
I actually wanted a shark with a laser pointer. We used to have one, and I need us to find that for our line.
Shark with a frickin' laser beam.
Yep.
Also, there was an issue with some of the Vice combat targets in the GeoGoat area. Those have been reset and can take damage once more. That was a resident request. We're looking also at a couple of other projects that are on the boards, including a planned connection from Bay City and Nova Albion to the rest of the mainland roads. More on this as we can release it. We'll see how that comes along.
And coming back to me, you know, talking about Tilia, I don't know if y'all recall, but I think in the last meeting, y'all were speaking about the migration that Tilia was working on for a new wallet for everyone. And, you know, a lot of y'all may have noticed some new updates, which means some new things and new looks. Starting off, we have faster payouts, which is also including direct bank deposits. You know, I'll say that it may not be available for everyone at this moment, but we're definitely working towards pushing that out as soon as we can. But ultimately, this new system comes with better security and compliance, and it's a user-friendly experience across the system, so it's overall just easier to manage your transactions and payouts. Additionally, as you know, anytime something new comes out, come challenges. And so some of the things that we are already looking into is some aspects may be a bit confusing, such as, the way that charges show up. Kind of looks like a payment may be charged twice sometimes, but nevertheless, you can confirm you were only charged once. And additionally, there's some issues such as not being able to see the name of the region that you may be paying maintenance on. Again, these are things we are aware of, and we're trying to take care of them as soon as possible. Some of these have already been taken care of, and speaking of the region aspect of the region names popping up, so you know what region you're paying for every month, I believe that's being addressed at this time. And regarding that though, please give us as much feedback as you can. Everything that we hear back from you guys helps us be able to fix it and get it fixed out quicker for you. So you can leave feedback at feedback.secondlife.com. I can post that link in chat for you guys real quick. But please give us as much feedback as you can.
Speaking of feedback, I want to kind of open the floor for any questions, comments, things you want to share, cool places you've seen, problems you've run into.
I have 2 questions.
Go for it.
The first question is the Tilia account that does the zero balance. It doesn't show you that you purchased for take your Lindens and transfer them to the tier, and they go into your PayPal. This was told to me yesterday. It's not showing any buying of exchanging my Lindens for tier since December. Have they fixed that yet?
Alpha, do you want to?
So yeah, I mean, once you've already migrated, you should have had those updated reports coming in. It definitely sounds like a situation we want to investigate into further. So we may need to get you into a support ticket just so we can take a deeper look into this, have screenshots and whatnot.
I talked to him yesterday. And the next question is for Wendi, land issue.
Sure,
how do you keep I have no fly zone on my sim.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I have people flying 4,000 above my home on my skybox, and there is no fly for them, for anybody that comes to my sim, but yet they're 1 day old, 2 days old coming in.
That's unusual.
How do you stop that from them doing that?
A howitzer.
Isn't there a land flying thing?
In other words, grief them? Fine, I'll grief them. I love doing that. Okay.
I mean, it's your land.
No, it's one of SL's old pieces of land that I bought. And this is over 18.
Well, if it's your estate, I should say, it would be yours.
Well, it's a private region. It's been there for over 18 plus years.
Then there you go.
But getting tired of these newbies coming in there. We're talking about robots.
Mm-hmm.
Checking out sim settings or whatever they're doing. One is let me see if I can find that name for you. But one is Dalala something. She keeps on driving me insane.
Have you considered maybe adding them to your ban list for the region?
Do you know how many bots I got on the ban list now?
I know.
300 plus.
The other thing that'll get rid of a lot of that, but it'll get rid of some people that you might want also, so you have to balance everything, is, the required payment information on file, those kinds of things, will get rid of a lot of those people problems.
Yeah, but I never had this problem until recently, see? That's the problem. What do you...
Savannah, I'm not actually sure if we've
If
announced
okay.
any sort of date on that.
Wendy knows what the sim I'm talking about, and so doesn't Izzy, the famous sim of all in SL. And you can't sit on a certain part of the sim. You can't do this, you can't do that. Now, I cannot, it's a private region, I cannot put non-scripted because I have script agents that go over there. And if I start doing that, then I've got problems on my sim. How can we keep them from flying 4,000 feet above?
I mean, as was already mentioned, you can set, if they are bots, you can go ahead and set them so that scripted agents can't come to your region.
I don't know who they are. May I help you? They
You
never
wouldn't
answer.
need a name for that.
We're talking 15-day-old ones. We're talking about 15 years, 16 years.
Right. If they are scripted agents, if they're set as scripted agents, that will stop them regardless of how old they are, how new they are, any of that.
I'll just go grief them. That sounds even better. Yeah,
You're
body
welcome
bots.
to do
That's
so.
the number one. Body bots. They always show
those
up on your sim. Yes.
And the body bots are all scripted agents, so you can just click the button to not all the scripted agents on there and go away.
And then you got
For
the alpha
Kofi,
bots
about
coming in
labeling
now.
scripted agents, that's definitely a conversation that's in progress.
Okay. Fix my sim. That's the last one. I've been asking every year.
Illy, that was changed a while back. It's still something that is being reviewed as far as where those lines show. Note that if you cam under the water, they will show on the ground like they used to. You can also turn off the water level to see some of that.
Okay?
It definitely is a bit of a pain point, so we know that can be an issue. It's something that those of us who work on abandoned land have to also kind of deal with. Exactly, Illy. Exactly. Freddie, yes, you can change them to look however you want to look. Just using the standard avatar tools. Go ahead.
Hi, sorry. I have a question for Alpha. It's actually a support ticket that I've got running that he's been responding to, and I didn't realize that I'd gotten a response until just now. But it's about, I've mentioned it here before, Wendy, where my previous stores on a region that is long since gone is still showing up in search. He requested that I check the Second Life viewer. It isn't showing up in the Second Life viewer, but where does that leave me? It still means that it's showing up in other viewers, and there's nothing I can do about it. Three listings that we're not being charged for, but are there as things that just don't exist anymore, and I'd really like them removed. So who do I go to for that if it's not in the Second Life viewer?
Sorry, I could not get that push to talk button to start working. I'm so sorry about that. But yeah, I hear exactly what you're saying, and I hate that this is the answer I have to give, but when it comes to the official viewer, if you're not seeing that information in our viewer, then it leads us to believe, like your other option would probably just be reaching out to those third-party viewers, locating their support teams, websites, however way you can reach out to them and speaking to them about getting that information updated, because if it's showing correctly on our end, then we don't really have much control over what the third-party viewers would be showing.
No problem. I mean, at least we've worked that out, but yeah, that's great. Thank you.
Yeah, of course.
Any other questions, things you want to bring up, please feel free.
Unicorn, like with everything else, mainland, private regions, Linden home regions, and what we're constantly evaluating. So I can't say yes or no to that, but that we're always evaluating, so anything's possible.
All right, I got a question. How come Linden Labs takes stuff from your sim or your inventory, okay, or if you put it out, it's still in your inventory. If they are, let's use Hivid right now because that's the one that's under investigation for content problem. Why can't we be notified that Linden Labs is taking something from us because of an investigation?
So yeah, I mean, when it comes to these types of situations, unfortunately, it is involving another user's account. So therefore, we can't release, information regarding a situation that is connected to a user. So, additionally, that isn't been handled by our team. So unfortunately, it's not something we really have information on. I understand your concern.
Yeah, I'd also
the convenience it's causing.
I'd also add that in cases that are, that governance may have done some action on, that we really can't even talk about that. This isn't a governance meeting. And again, we really don't know, we don't handle that. We're not part of that department, unfortunately.
Okay.
Nix, we actually had the ability for something very similar to virtual private servers a long time ago, and there just wasn't enough of an interest to warrant keeping that going. I can't say it won't come back, but when we tried it, there was there was not enough interest to keep it going.
And Ellie, I'll answer that. The problem is that this is the support and land, and it's the devs who are largely working on the Linden water right now and trying to improve the look and feel of that. That's pretty much all I know on it, unfortunately. But I know it is being worked on, and hopefully will be improved soon.
I'm also right here. I can just comment on that.
Hey, that's right. We have a Geens in the house. Please.
Hey, Geens!
Yes, so just because apparently my responses are kind of getting buried there. So when it comes down to PBR water, we've made numerous improvements as part of the Forever FPS viewer. We reverted a lot of things. Things should look a lot closer, but will probably never look exactly the same to what it did before. As a special treat as well, we've restored Invisiprim functionality specifically for water. They won't work on anything else. So for those of you who like to ride around in boats or, have portals to the hotter sections of regions, that will now work again.
Keynes, I think you made a bunch of people very happy.
I will say that this is not the end of water improvements. We have a few more coming soon. I'm really hoping we'll get those together for next month's viewer, but we'll see. That plate's already getting pretty full right now. And for those of you who like your real-time reflections, that's probably going to be the next big thing that would drop for water. For those of you interested in trying the beta, give me 1 second. I'll even get you a link to it.
While Gaines is grabbing that link, does anybody have any other questions?
That sounds like a you problem than a me problem, Sarah.
Professor, none of the three of us make those decisions, so we really can't answer that. But I do know that it's something that's always being evaluated.
I have a question about land in search. If you're looking for land, when it says land sales and it's meant to be selling land, why is it allowed that everybody that rents land can just use it as an advertising space as well?
That would be a governance. Wendi, correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe that would be a governance thing because those people are misrepresenting what the actual purpose is.
Exactly. You can certainly abuse report those when you see them, because that is misrepresenting. Although it could be that, maybe they will sell you that parcel for $9,999,999. So it becomes kind of questionable on that. But by all means, please feel free to send in a ticket or a support abuse report on that. That's the word I want.
Ends up being all of them. I don't have that much time, but thank you. I was just curious whether it was wrong or something had just been missed there.
Yeah. I mean, it could be considered a form of fraud as far as I understand, but again, I'm not a governance specialist. That's just my read on it.
And
I just feel it becomes confusing for people.
Sorry, Sassy, didn't mean to interrupt you there. No worries at all. Prokofy, as far as Canny, I'm one of the people that reviews Canny. Not all of it, only certain sections of it. But I do know there are other people in other sections, so it is definitely something that's reviewed. Of course, we get asked everything from basic, oh yeah, why aren't we doing that? We need to get that implemented, to the moon and stars kind of requests. So it really depends. Sometimes there are things that we can't do. Sometimes there are things that we can do and can do right away. And sometimes there are things that we want to do but can't do right now. So that's the reason why there's a lot of varied approaches.
I can speak to the viewer's side of that, if that's okay.
Absolutely.
So on the viewer side, as of right now, we have about a 3 times a week cadence in terms of reviewing Canny. And kind of to Izzy's point there, like it really kind of comes down to prioritization for us. We have limited resources here. We can't exactly do all the things all at once. But we're trying our best to prioritize and reprioritize things moving forward here.
Yes, our attempts to graft additional arms onto our devs did meet with some failure.
And yeah, on the communication side of it, given how often we are reviewing the cannies, right now that's kind of the de facto please go that way communication preference. But we do watch multiple channels. That's just the easiest one for us to straight up review, though.
With the caveat of what kind of a situation it is, because of course, if it's, I'm having this performance issue on my region, that's a support ticket kind of a situation. If it's a bug report or a security issue or a feature request, that's definitely a canny kind of issue. So it really varies depending upon what we're talking about.
Here I typed it and Izzy just said it just out loud.
Not sure why that's patronizing. Sorry, Professor, but like if you're going through dozens of them or whatever and you do have something that's been approved as your canned response, I mean, I guess we all understand that it has to be that. Writing everything by hand would be kind of, difficult. You make one accidental punctuation and you've declared war on some small country.
Not only that, but actually you kind of answered your own question there, Professor. If they gave you a response that's saying, hey, this is a feature request and it's something that we think is a valuable suggestion, and then it's marked as tracked, that means that it's been put into a category of, hey, these are some things that we might want to do when we have the bandwidth or enough things in a certain area to go ahead and do. If you know anything about coding, it takes a lot to go ahead and make certain modifications, because not only do you have to go in and modify the code, but there's a tremendous amount of testing that has to be done before and after to make sure it doesn't affect anything else. So we tend to take a moderate amount of requests that are all in the same general area so we can do a bunch of different things at once, because it would be a lot longer if we had to do a bunch of varied things in one particular release. So basically what that message has been saying is that, well, I was using coding as one possibility. We're basically saying that we've taken your suggestion, we're tracking it, and it may be something that we will be able to improve upon at some point.
Again, it's just hard, Professor, like writing for everybody's reaction, like doing customer service in Second Life, for instance, the reaction to just responding to a question asked of you is sometimes the murkiest of waters, because somebody just doesn't understand the tone that you're coming at them with, where the punctuation works. English is a second language. I think that how you're reading it, how I'm reading it, is a perfect example of that. It's just really difficult to even type the perfect canned response. They're not just saying, we saw it, we don't think it really tickles our fancy this month, we're going to put it over here on the shelf.
Absolutely, and
really?
That's why I love this particular meeting, because we can do things in voice for those that want to use voice, so you can hear, the tone and the care, hopefully hear the tone and the caring that are a part of it. Whereas when it's in just plain text, it's kind of up to the reader to set the tone, at least as much as the person who typed it out. So, I mean, unless we used a whole ton of emojis around it, but then that would seem kind of saccharine. So we do the best that we can with that.
Right, and also I was just going to say, some of us here have experience where moles particularly have answered some of the feedback and done so in a manner that has become very fuming, angry, as Sarah's written, because they've decided to explain in a way that could make you feel somewhat like a moron. And yeah, I'd rather canned.
I'm definitely sorry if that is how. Oh, I definitely want to look into if that's how it was sent. But if it's not sent that way, but it's taken that way, I'm still sorry that it was taken that way. I know I get to review some of those responses and everything, and I'm always looking at ways that we can improve. But like you said, Sarah, when you're responding to a whole bunch of them all the time, it's a lot harder because if a mole responds to it, they're most likely triaging. They're not really making decisions for it. They're putting them into certain buckets so that way somebody else can come and review. So if it's marked tracked, somebody else comes along and says, okay, I've got all of these tracked ones. Let me sort them by kind of issue and then go ahead and dig into it further for that. Whereas if it's the other different categories might get reviewed by different people. And Sarah, as far as contradicting one of the Lindens, whether it be Philip or any of the others, I would have to look into the specifics of the situation, but you mentioned that a whole bunch of your requests were reacted to that way. Do you have a ballpark idea of how many? Okay, how different were the half a dozen different requests? Well, all land related, but were they six completely separate requests, or were they six requests generally in the same area that they couldn't really be dealt with differently? It really depends upon what it is. Were they all, wanting to connect this to this, or were they all wanting to improve the visibility or, whatnot? I'd need a lot more information to figure out why they might have been treated one way or another. Expansions, right now, the moles can't make decisions on that, so they would only be able to say thank you for your feedback. I'll go ahead and mark it as tracked and see if it can go ahead and get done. But they don't make the decision. All they can do is do the initial response, mark it as tracked. Did they close it or did they link it with other requests? Okay, were the ones that they were linked to the same kind of request? It may be that whoever makes the decisions on expansions said we can't do any expansions right now, and so they are all filling into a particular bucket. So that's something I can look into. I can't report to you what we're doing, of course, but I can at least look into to see how that was handled. There's so many different ways that can be interpreted, Sarah. I can't answer you based on the limited information I just got.
Professor, I'll go ahead and see if that can get updated via the web team. Okay, that's about enough of that. How about we pull back from attacking each other just a wee bit, please? Thank you. Want to make sure anyone else out there have any questions they want to bring up. We've got about a little under 15 minutes. I want to make sure that everyone gets something in if they have something. Any other issues we've not yet discussed?
Thank you, Freddie.
Yes, please. Marty, go for it. That's interesting, Marty. It won't let you log into it at all. That I would definitely, Marty, if you could, please do a support ticket on that so that we can look into that very specifically, because I think that might be something going on. First, I'd love for us to get a chance to look at that. Prokofy, maybe.
One quick question. I think it scrolled by when I was talking to several other people, so if so, I apologize. But did somebody mention Campwich Forest in here? Bella, what was the problem? I'm sorry, I missed it. Well, just so you know, I'm actually in the process of working on changing that, so that should make you happy.
Will they be moved to the regular welcome hub?
No, they're going to have their own place, but it won't be in Belissaria.
Okay, good. Good to know.
Now, obviously, I can't, remove anybody who's learned to go there and wants to keep going there, but there won't be a continual funnel of new people going there. And of course, a lot of the people that hang out there currently hang out there because of the new people coming, so they'll slowly migrate as well.
So their default home setting will still be Camp Witch because that's where they originally rezzed. But
more than likely, but we can put a sign there about how to change it too.
Right. I've actually asked for that quite a few times because I'm one of the mentors, and we actually have no designated area in any of the Welcome Hub locations or anywhere for anybody to actually set a home setting outside of the landing points of the Welcome Hub, which means that a lot of the time all the traffic that's happening there is just people getting teleported back to their home setting,
right.
Often naked, which is not their fault necessarily. It can be just a region restart, or they've gotten booted from a region or something like that. And I think that 90% of that would be cleared up if they had a default home setting that wasn't their landing point, but we don't give them one. And I was just wondering.
Do me a favor, Sassy. As a mentor, you have a mole liaison. Go ahead and tell that mole liaison that I said for you to give them that suggestion, and then they can work with me on seeing if we can get that put in there, okay?
Sure. Abner.
Well, Abner doesn't run the mentors.
Oh, you mean the Viola. Yeah. No, that was just funny. So it would be Viola, but Abner takes care of the actual land a lot of the time. So yeah, I just thought you meant, okay, I'll talk to Viola about it again.
Not a problem. And just so you know, she's the one that brought up to me the issue about Camp Witch, and it was brought up to me this morning, and it's already in the process of getting fixed.
Fantastic news.
Yay, I fixed something. My day is done. Kidding.
Looks like we've got about 5 minutes left. Any other questions, comments, favorite dances, something?
Okay, Wendy, you now have to do the Macarena for everybody.
You would ask for that. Oops, sorry, I'm not scripted to do that. Sorry.
Nix, you can restart your own private islands via the web.
He's asking on estate managers as opposed to owners.
I believe I've seen that feature request, and I don't have an objection to it, but I don't get to make that decision.
Let's just pretend that there isn't Mrs. Donovan.
Or you could go ahead and drop it on Wendy, so then she'll have that animation.
No, it's, I really can't take gifts. Were they actually going offline, or were they just out just on the edge of your draw distance? Because that can also sometimes make them appear to wink out.
Wow, Bunny, the way to throw Alpha under the bus.
I think I'm a little too
That
shy,
is interesting, really.
but maybe in the future.
Yeah, but I long for the days when everybody wore the Thriller HUD and all you had to do is type on, and all of a sudden everybody around you who forgot they still had it on started dancing.
Have you seen this ode to the land team sort of video, by the way? This song that sort of thanks you guys?
Thank you for posting a positive one, Sassy. The last link I did was not a good one.
It's old, but it still tracks, I think. Do an amazing job. There's a lot of land in Second Life. I think you probably have the biggest job.
The land team definitely is amazing.
We cover a lot of miles in our day. Hey, Gaines, there's another one for you.
Oh no.
Tell us a story, Geens.
Yeah, sure. Well, we have the upcoming releases Forever FPS that goes out on Friday. Just kind of like a small TLDR on this. Lots of water fixes, some performance improvements here and there, many bug fixes that just kind of missed the bus with extra FPS last year. And by the way, if you are a Firestorm user, their beta has many of the fixes in there already. The next release after Forever FPS, we're actually moving to a year and date based version scheme. So that's going to be 2025.03. That's mostly going to be bug fixes, some additional water improvements, and hey, mirrors won't be super slow anymore. So hey, won't that be nice? But yeah. So stay tuned as far as the one after Forever FPS. We're still kind of defining that, and we're also trying to move into a monthly release cycle for the official viewer. I'll probably go into more detail on that during next week's content creation user group. I see a few familiar faces. Just as a reminder, that is coming back next week on Thursday, March 6th.
Hey, Gaines, do you know why my water was changing colour while I was standing there within seconds of itself? Like, I don't know what was going on there.
I have
Shared a
no idea what
Gyazo.
you're talking about.
I shared a Gyazo link in chat. Just a few up, it got scrolled past now.
I also have to jump in here and say we're almost at the end of our
I see.
time today. Thanks everyone for coming. I hope we were able to get some information out. Hope I was able to help a bit. And we're here every month on the fourth Wednesday.
Thank you, everybody.
Thank you
that was
guys.
great.
Yeah.
And also, Sassy, to answer your question, it looks like a reflection probe is getting caught in some weird state. So we have like the void reflection probe, so something's up there. Please file an issue for that. Actually, I'd like to try and get a consistent repro on that.
Okay,
And
no
I just
worries.
want to issue an extra thank you to Wendi because she coordinates a lot of the data that we go over and disseminate out to you guys and everything. So thank you, Wendi.
Absolutely my pleasure. The more information I can get out there to folks, hopefully the better their Second Life experience. Take care, all.
Bye.
Thank you, and thanks, Pantera.